Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable. We are on our 83rd roundtable, I think, or something like that. I'm not even sure because we've done so many of them. I've lost count. Today is May 12th, and we are going to be working with 3 entrepreneurs from different parts of the world. And then we are going to do, I'm going to spend some time talking about the 1 million by 1 million premium program, and then we are going to do audience Q&A. As you know, this is part of the 1 million by 1 million program, which is to help, the aim is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond. So the only way this program is going to be successful in achieving its mission by 2020 is if each of you get to $1 million in annual revenue and beyond, so that we can create this enormous mass of successful ventures all over the world. Now, those of you who are working in India on entrepreneurial projects, you probably know that 1 million by 1 million is working with Microsoft BizSpark's Startup Grant Program, India Startup Challenge Grant. And there are 2 categories, mobile and cloud. The first prize in mobile and in cloud are $40,000 each. And then you have a second prize of $10,000 each. So 4 grants. If you haven't completed your application, please do that. And on June 2nd, we're going to be working with the finalists of the Microsoft Grant Program. If you are tweeting the event, please use the hashtag 1M1M. We know a lot of people like to tweet this event, and please feel free to do that. We encourage you to do that. And Vrishali, you are on first. Penworks is the company. Vrishali, if you could unmute your line and come tell us what you've got.
Thank you, Sramana.
Go ahead.
Hi everyone, this is Vrishali. I'm calling from Pune, India. I have a company called Penworks. It's been 2 years and I'm into technical documentation. We provide user manuals and online help for our clients. They're mostly from the IT industry, companies having their own products and for which they want their documentation to be strong when they go to their clients. And so my background is I have a developer background, so my understanding of the technology is what interested me and propelled me into this niche segment of profession. The company that I run is currently I'm the only person running it. It's a home office, and what my unique standard selling point or what the competitive advantage I bring in is I collaborate with people all over the world, and it is an off-site model wherein I take in projects from all over the world and complete them at home and give it to the clients. We have documentation development life cycle, which is just like a software development life cycle. So we follow that and deliver the documentation to the client. It could also mean getting involved in the design phase of the product development, as well as after the product is almost, it's already developed and it's going to be shipped to the client. We also do the manual testing, so basically take care of the quality control. We give in feedback to the designers as well as the testers. And the user inputs are also, user interface inputs are also given by the such as the screen messages, the user instruction, the deleted messages. Segmentation analysis as such is something that is not been done. I'm trying to figure out how it's supposed to be done and what exactly is required from my end to sort of get this going. Is it something that I need to do myself, or hire somebody to get it done for me? So the target definition, the target customer definition is pretty much clear. I know that companies I'm targeting are a small to mid-sized companies who would have their own product already, and also a customer in line who is ready to buy it.
So hold on, let me check this. So you're working on small to mid-sized technology product companies. That's your sweet spot, yes?
That's right.
And how do you get to these customers today?
I am a content moderator of a technical writers of India, within India organization, and I usually get my customers from there. They who are looking at their technical documentation work, and also contact job.
Okay, so you're not, other than that content forum, that technical writing forum, you're not doing any other kind of outreach for customer acquisition. Vishali? Uh-oh. All right, so I'm going to give you some feedback while you're trying to dial back in, I suppose, and you can listen to that in the recording. My sense is it's good that you have a forum where you can interact with customers, but you also need to proactively go after customers. So what the style of customers that would be the most, in a position to pay you, I think one of the conditions you stated is customers who are capable of paying you are potentially companies that have funding. So one way you can approach is go for a list of VC funded startups in anywhere in the world, basically technology startups, and you can pitch your services to them. And that's doable by just going to their websites and finding the names of the CEOs and contacting them over LinkedIn. A lot of venture funded startup companies are on LinkedIn, and you can contact them and offer your services to them. In fact, it's not even CEOs. The people that you are normally going to be contacting are technical services managers, technical documentation managers, or training managers, or even the VP of engineering. So there are tons of VPs of engineering of technology companies on LinkedIn. So one of the recommendations I have is you could contact them by LinkedIn and pitch your services. The other option is to look at Odesk and Elance, which are these freelance sites where you should have a presence and you should solicit customers and look for customers through that as well, because there are a lot of people who look for technical documentation resources through Odesk and LinkedIn. So that's kind of my my guidance to you. And let's see, yeah, I think why don't you hang on, and I'm going to move on to the next presenter, and we can talk more when you get back online. I've got a sense of your business, so we can have more discussions during the Q&A session later on. So let me actually take a look at your questions. I already told you about going to market. You should use LinkedIn, Odesk, and Elance. Those are your customer acquisition and validation techniques, actually. Do I like the value proposition of the business? Sure. This is a value proposition of a business that is quite common. Actually, there are a lot of people who offer this, so you have to figure out a way to differentiate yourself and create enough, enough credibility, enough differentiation that people would be wanting to work with you, because it is a very, very crowded market. Would I invest in this business? No. First and foremost, we don't. 1 million by 1 million is not an investment portal or investment organization. We don't invest in any business. We help you build your business. It has nothing to do with ROI. In general, these outsourcing service companies are not what investors invest a lot in. There are certain angel investors you would find who might be investing in it, but generally investors, professional investors are looking for highly scalable companies, and these companies tend to be, body driven scalability, and that is not so much in favor in the investment community right now. What is the area to focus in terms of scaling and expanding after you get traction? Well, we can worry about that after you start getting some traction. I've already given you 3 pointers: LinkedIn, Odesk, and Elance. Why don't you go execute on those? Then you can come back and talk to me about scaling. First, build the business and start getting enough business and getting more of a team together and so forth. So get enough business to support a team and get to some critical mass and validation before you can start thinking about scaling. I'm not sure I understand your last question, so I'm going to skip that, and you can pick up these answers in the recording, Vrishali. Dan, you're on next.
Okay.
Oh, so Vrishali, you're back on. Great, perfect. So actually, if you have any questions, Vrishali, beyond what I just said, feel free to ask. Okay, we're going to move on then. Dan, you're next. Please unmute yourself. Vrishali, you can hold your questions till the Q&A section of the section. Dan?
Hi, Sramana.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, good morning, and good morning to everyone on the call. Thank you for having me back to update you on our progress.
Dan is a premium member, 1 million by 1 million premium member, so you're going to see Dan has progressed a lot since we have been interacting, and for a few months now, and you'll hear of where he is as well as where he wants to go next. Go ahead, Dan.
All right. So Happy Grasshopper is a web-based marketing service. We send fun, friendly email messages, and they're actually messages that people read. The best part, though, is that you don't even have to write them. Every message looks exactly as if you sent it yourself, and it is specifically designed to start a conversation. So it's a great way for salespeople to stay in touch with their sphere of influence without sending that dreary old newsletter that people just don't look forward to receiving anymore. Our users, they simply upload their contacts, they configure their custom branded email signature, and then they approve or edit each message before it's sent. So currently, Happy Grasshopper is free for the first 50 contacts, and an upgrade plan is $19 per month. We've decided to start by targeting the real estate segment, and we have been able to gain some traction. Yeah, you're on the right slide. One of our goals was to acquire customers without building a sales force, and so far we've been able to do that. By focusing on blogging and PR, we've been able to actually bring enough customers on to prove that our product works and also prove that people are willing to pay for it.
Vrishali, can you please mute your line because you're disturbing the rest of the call? Yeah. Please press *6 and mute your line. Thank you. Go ahead, Dan.
All right. So I want to spend just a moment on validation here because I can't stress enough how important that is. We've built other companies. Happy Grasshopper is my 7th company. Some have succeeded, some failed, and I can tell you that life is too short to try to figure out how to sell a bad product. There's just no point trying to build a company unless you can quickly find out that people love your product. And I really mean that, love, not like. So to help us figure that out, we launched with a freemium business model. I wanted to just eliminate every possible obstacle. I wanted to take away every reason people might have not to try us so we could quickly find out how well our product works. And today, as a result of that, we've got over 1,000 customers. We've got countless testimonials. We have fans who are blogging about us, and we've also got some real solid metrics that support our sales story. For example, our open rate for the real estate industry is 198% higher than Constant Contacts. So validation is absolutely critical. It's just so much easier to build a real business when you know that your product works. So you also see there we were featured in the Cool Tools section of Realtor Magazine. That was very helpful. We've received a bunch of inquiries from large corporations and large brokerages that would like to see an enterprise edition become available. And we've also got a very low cancellation rate. So those are all good things, and we feel now the need to focus a little more clearly on how we're going to drive revenue. So taking a quick look at our market, you see that we're still really focused on the real estate segment. Our service could be used by anyone who needs referrals or wants to automatically keep in touch with their sphere. So we do see opportunity in other verticals, and we have users signing up from a huge variety of verticals, but we still feel that it's better for now to just stay focused on real estate. Go to the next slide, please. This customer acquisition strategy, basically our plan to generate customers, is heavily weighted towards marketing and PR. What we want to do is drive qualified traffic to our website and then have the website do the selling. So we pay very close attention to our analytics, and we use a variety of tools to track this. WebStat is one tool we use. It's really great for seeing what our live traffic is doing. It also has a host of simple reports we like. And we also really like the heat maps that we get from a tool called ClickTail. Both these tools help us make the right improvements to our website so that we can get better results. And right now results are good. We actually convert 17% of new visitors. When they come to our site, they open an account. As you can see, the current pricing model, it's segmented by the number of contacts, and it ranges from totally free for up to 50 contacts to $39 a month for up to 5,000. All of our paid plans are offered with a 30-day trial. There are no contracts, and we do offer a 100% money-back guarantee. Again, this is our effort to remove all those possible obstacles. We want our users just to like what they see and sign up. So now that we've got this strong validation, we do need to focus on generating more real revenue. Next slide, please. Sramana and I have been talking about this a lot lately, and one thing we've decided is to eliminate the free forever plan. The plan you see on the slide now is our current best thinking, and I say current because we're not yet decided on the right pricing and contact breaks for each plan. Most realtors, most of our users keep about 250 contacts in their account, but we do have some with thousands. So right now we're struggling to strike the right balance while keeping it very simple to understand. Again, I want someone who's shopping on our site to understand that there are no hidden gotchas, and what they see here is exactly what they'll get. Next slide, please.
Dan, before we go there, just one comment. Just throwing it out there, what if you just had one price? You know, the 30-day free, and then there's just one price, which is whatever, $19 a month or unlimited contacts.
Well, my first concern when I think about that is occasionally we have a user sign up who wants to upload a spam list that they've bought somewhere. And having unlimited contacts really doesn't gel well with our mission to help you stay closer in contact with your sphere of influence.
Okay.
Your sphere is not going to be thousands of people. It's going to be hundreds at the most. So
depends. My sphere is well in the thousands.
I should say for most of our realtors, their sphere is going to be in the hundreds.
So, but then maybe you give a 5,000 or something, some cutoff limit, or 2,000, something like that. But the reason I'm saying, and this is a conversation I've had with a lot of people who have dealt with pricing, a lot of product marketeers, is that it may be simpler to convey that this is just a simple one mode of pricing, and you don't really have to calculate how many you have and blah blah blah. There's no choice. This is it. It just psychologically simpler. Think about it. You don't have to answer me right now, but just think about it, that sometimes this like trying to figure out where I fit and so forth creates confusion in the minds of people. $19 a month is not that much money given the kind of validation and testimonials you have. You know, what if we just say that it's a $19 a month service and these are the constraints on it? No spam list, no blah, blah, blah. Just think about it. We can move on.
I will. I noticed in the comments, by the way, that I've been speaking too softly. So I've taken this off speakerphone. Hopefully the volume's better for people. So questions, Sramana. These are, of course, updated from the last time we talked. But as you know, we're really focused on putting a lot of content out there. And I'd like you to flesh out some action steps we can take to becoming and gaining more recognition as thought leaders. Ultimately, I'd love to author a column in a magazine or some other type of publication so that I can build.
So Dan, I know you've been researching Cision and Vocus's PR service. What does your research show in terms of the span of writers or bloggers or journalists, media properties out there that are covering the real estate vertical, catering to real estate agents who are in your sweet spot of customers?
There are hundreds in our country that do, and thousands around the world. We're, of course, still just focused on the U.S. and North American markets.
So
I did go with Vocus, by the way, and they have a pretty good tool for sorting and selecting and reaching out to those journalists and bloggers. They also have an editorial calendar to where if the journalist chooses to, they can publish what they're planning to write about in the coming months.
Okay. And so just curious, what's the cost of Vocus's PR service?
I would say that they're pretty negotiable. We started our negotiations at around $7,000, and that would be for a year of access, and we ended up signing at, I think it was just over $3,000.
Okay. And from that, you're able to get 100 media properties that cater to the real estate segment, or several hundreds?
I can get as many as there are, but
how many are there? My question is, what does the universe look like in that? What does the universe look like in that world?
It's returning thousands of people who write on that topic in a wide variety of different media.
Okay,
so,
good, very good.
I'm working on filtering the search to provide. Yeah, obviously, I want to start with the low-hanging fruit. Hit the sweet spot first.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the experiments that I've been doing with Maureen and Irina and some of the members of the 1 Million by 1 Million Ambassador team. So we do a lot of this kind of guerrilla PR outreach. We have all sorts of, my recap column from this event, the Roundtable recap column, is a syndicated column across a lot of different media properties that focus on entrepreneurship, business, technology. And we have just launched an affiliate program. And the thinking behind that is there are, at least in the entrepreneurship universe, there are very few monetization models. The advertising model, if you're working on a small site, relatively small site, a small blog, and so forth. And by small blog, I mean, even if you have 50,000 unique users, it's still considered a small blog, and the monetization from that through advertising is very small. So what we are doing is we're offering an affiliate model where we are giving 10% of the revenue for premium member signups to the affiliates. And the reason I ask you about the number of media properties out there, the bloggers, people writing about your topic, is that this is something you can also do an affiliate program and invite a lot of these properties to become affiliate members of your program, so that if they have, if they're promoting you on their sites and driving traffic to you, that starts to become a revenue generation method for them. And it can serve the double purpose of giving you PR, so they have the incentive of giving you PR and access and so forth. At the same time, they also use you as a monetization model. And there's an added advantage in that of search engine optimization, because if you have hundreds and thousands of sites linking into your site, that gives you tremendous amount of search engine optimization credit. So you will see there's a case study that is going to be coming up very soon. mycorporation.com. I just did the story and we are about to publish it actually on the blog. This is a company that does incorporation for other, other small companies. Basically, they do all the incorporation work as well as the filings that are required to keep a company, up to date in terms of statutory requirements. These guys they're about a $10 million company. They have over 250,000 customers, and they have over 6,000 affiliates who are sending traffic over to them. So that's a case study that I would like you to read, and I think there are some very good, very, very subtle advice in that particular case study for you particularly. And I learned a lot from it as well.
Well, thank you. I'll look forward to reading it. We do have an active affiliate program now, but we haven't got much traction with it. So I'll look to that case study to help point us in the right direction.
And you need to pitch that affiliate program to these people that you're identifying through Session. No, sorry, not Session. So Vocus. All these different media properties that people who are writing about your topic that you're identifying through Vocus, these are people whom you should pitch that affiliate program to. So the affiliate program will be successful when you actively recruit the affiliates and they sign on and they actively promote your site and your service. So I think my answer to your question about turning off advertising is actually, I am in favor of turning off advertising, because in your case, from what I've heard so far, advertising is not really producing. So I would focus more on the guerrilla PR, affiliate, and search engine optimization, and you can tie those three together nicely by doing a smart affiliate strategy. So all those three can kind of flow through each other.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. The last question there is just in terms of targeting more verticals. It seems like that point when we decide to do it is still way down the road, but I'm curious what you would expect us to look for before we make that decision.
Well, as is obvious right now, you've not penetrated the real estate vertical fully, or to your capacity, since there are so many still action items that you need to execute on and really get the message out to your core vertical, which is the real estate agent vertical. I would there's probably several $1 million worth of revenue that you can pick up just from the real estate vertical. My guidance would be to stay focused on that for the time being. You are already getting people from other verticals. As long as they're inbound leads, you can cater to them. But in terms of actually systematically marketing to a different vertical, I think it's premature. But once you have penetrated and got enough revenue coming out of the real estate vertical and you're becoming automatically virally word of mouth spreading and everything, you will get a sense. I think you'll have enough revenue, then you can repeat this exact same strategy in another vertical and then another vertical. But I think I'd like to see a lot more. What's the revenue level right now, Dan?
Oh, it's small. We're generating about $2,500 a month currently.
Okay, so we have a long way to go, but I think the real estate vertical is going to be it's several $1 million vertical, given the numbers you have presented from a TAM point of view so far.
Mm-hmm.
So I would execute first really well in the real estate vertical, especially because you have validation.
Yeah.
The real estate vertical so far has responded very well to your offer.
Well, we'll keep barking up that tree.
Yeah.
We'll do that. All right. Well, Sramana, thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to come back. And I know I keep telling you, but I really, really appreciate your program. You've been a great mentor, and I'm glad to be working with you.
Great. I'm just a friend. You have enough business experience. There are certain areas where I have more business experience than you do. In many other areas, you have a lot more business experience than I do. So it's just trying to add value where we each have expertise.
Well, again, thank you. So I see some questions here in the group chat, which I will answer, and okay. I'm going to go ahead and mute. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. Tariq, please come.
Hi, Sramana. How are you doing?
Hi. All right, Tariq. Let's drill into Stanzer and deal with the next step. Tariq, by the way, is also a premium member, and we just talked yesterday on a bunch of topics, and today we're going to do more work on Tariq's business. So Tariq, for the audience, maybe you want to quickly tell them what you do so that they have some context, and then we can dive into the next set of issues.
Sure. Currently, I work in the social media analytics space. My main area of expertise is sort of analyzing folks' execution and sort of work on Twitter and Twitter engagement. So we have.
Let's stop you for a second.
Yes.
I'm going to explain to the audience what you do, and I want you to listen to how I explain to the audience what you do, because all this stuff that you have on the screen right now actually does not explain what you do.
No,
from what I understand, you have a lightweight business events, online business events platform to help companies convert their prospects, convert their leads into customers.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes. Yes, that's
Why do we have two slides? We have the first slide, what we do, market focus versus market discovery. Then we have a second slide which talks about market focus and market discovery in parallel, none of which are relevant to what you do.
Absolutely.
So these two slides, as far as I'm concerned, are going in the trash can.
Delete. Let's do it.
All right. Now keep going.
All right. So, we're actually, so to your point and what you just well described, because we're trying to close, help enterprise business customers close more customers or close prospects faster. We are using, a platform that some may say parallels or look like the interactive chat. And this slide just highlights that the interactive chat space is extremely busy. There's a lot of companies working on various types of interactive chat platforms. And in the space, many from well-known companies like Salesforce, all the way to new startups such as Podio, and even very famously Twitter. So the next slide, I will talk about where we fit in, and what we're trying to do. So Stanzer, and why we're in this market is, again, to your point, Sramana, we're focused on the lower segment of the sales and marketing funnel. So that when customers come in, the big problem for the director of lead generation or the director of marketing communications is, what do you do, or how do you get folks to stay engaged with you after a webinar event or before a seminar event or trade show, and continue to educate, coach, and nurture them so that they see the value proposition of your product and they're encouraged to buy. So we're focused on trying to help folks connect these lightweight conversations, group conversations, where prospects can come together for a moderated scheduled chat, engage, talk about what their issues are, some of the topics that they're sort of concerned about before the purchase, and then moderate a discussion, instead of telling them what you do or trying to point them to a solution, help them talk about their issues and their anxieties so that they can then close with comfort and close with confidence. And so we are really focused on that area. We think that that's where we can continue to extract more value for the marketing organization and the sales organization by bringing them more sales-ready leads that are ready to convert.
So Tariq, a question here. Whom are you selling to? So typically, when a company organizes a webinar for lead generation, and they generate a list of leads. Let's say they're using an On24 platform or a DimDim platform or a WebEx platform to do an event, and then there's a lot of leads that are being generated. Who gets those leads? And that's the point where you're inserting yourself. So who is the target, target person that you are pitching to?
Excellent question. Excellent question. So it really depends on the size of the company. For the companies that we're targeting, they will have either a director of marketing communications or a director of VP of corporate marketing, or a director of lead generation. And once an event happens, such as a webinar, for example, even this event, at the end of this event, most folks are then put into some sort of marketing program, either a marketing automation or lead nurturing program. It is that person who's managing the lead nurturing, the marketing automation, and also moving the leads or qualifying them to sales. That person wants to have tools that help them identify who's the most sales-ready prospect, who will want to buy now. And so their struggle right now is they will send an email, they will change the website, they may even send a promotion or have people call prospects to see if they're ready to buy. So we're going to support that person. I'm adding them a new channel or a new tool to help identify folks who are ready for the sales team.
And how many of these kinds of people, and you're going after enterprise customers, enterprise
right.
I guess let's actually talk about that. You're not only going after enterprise customers, you're also going after the SMB customers, but who have substantial revenue, right? $10 million revenue is a company that is a perfect prospect for you, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Great question. So some of these smaller companies that have revenue may have large prospect lists, and they may be, they find themselves severely understaffed. And so having a very lightweight tool, they're very desperate for tools that doesn't require a lot of setup, doesn't require installation, doesn't require a lot of production of content and management, and that they can then identify these most qualified prospects as quickly as possible.
Great. So how many of these kinds of people, the director of lead generation, director of corporate marketing type of people in that sweet spot have you identified or talked to so far?
Great question. So we have talked to approximately 12 to 15 of these folks who are working at companies, that range anywhere from about 10 million in revenue to just under $1 billion.
Yeah.
And they keep saying to us one key thing: I want to know what my prospects are thinking, and I want to know when they're ready to buy. So those two things are the two questions that their performance is judged on, and we want to help them be able to highlight what prospects are thinking by having conversations with them, and then also helping them add more information to when they're ready to buy from the tools they already have in their current toolkit.
Okay.
Does that answer the question?
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm trying to move your slide up to let you finish the discussion.
Yeah. So just to give an idea of what it looks like, this is just a very raw snapshot of one feature of what we're doing, and what we hear is, what does this look like? It sounds very magical. How does this problem solve? And what you see right now is a landing page for a company that would possibly use us, for example, for a customer question around B2B B2B forecasting strategies and tactics. And what we see here is essentially an interactive chat where our company and our corporate marketers are encouraging discussions among their leads that are interested in this topic, and then using this as a way to, share information and have folks talk about their successes or their anxieties or their issues, so that at the end of this event, this is a 1-hour moderated chat, folks can then click to the next stage, either launch a trial or speak with somebody directly, for example, maybe a customer success person, so that they can then move or be coached to the next stage in the funnel, which is, for some of our prospects, is we just want them to trial our software after we engage.
And these conversations are tweeted as well, right? Tweeted and pushed the social.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Okay, so this is, again, you've advised us to stay focused. One of the things we hear is that, nobody knows when we're solving problems for our prospects. When you're in a webinar, the problem with a webinar is that it's a one-dimensional presentation where you're speaking to the group. And as a result, most folks are just maybe sharing what they're hearing. For what we're hearing is that we want to be able to actually promote more engagement or show that we have greater influence than just hosting a webinar. So when these conversations, we call them stanzas, which is hence the name stanza, these stanzas are shared across social media. So wherever our prospects reside, if they're on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook, the brand can show that they're having conversations around these issues. And what we're hearing is that's more powerful than tweeting a press release or promoting a link. It's actually saying, well, we're actually having conversations right now. You should come and join in. And that adds more, of course, leads to the top of the funnel. But so that's a very, very powerful point you just brought up. Yeah.
In fact, I just, FYI, Tariq, before even we started talking, the team that is doing the social media strategy work for 1 million by 1 million actually has requested a feature from VView so that we can directly tweet the group chat from these VView sessions, the roundtable sessions, into Twitter and LinkedIn and so forth. So.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's more validation.
That's right. Thank you. That's awesome news. Okay, so one of the things, again, the problems we talked about is that we have a lot of folks in the enterprise. It takes time to learn, but there are folks in this, smaller companies or that may not have budget for an enterprise purchase. They are, looking at this with interest as how can we participate as well. And I think, we have focused, again, with your advice, just focus on the enterprise. And, folks who are...
But about in the, $10 million kind of revenue range where...
Yeah.
I mean, I would even say even a $5 million revenue range company is fine, because what you're charged, the kind of pricing we are looking at, like $500 a month kind of pricing, they can afford to pay that.
Yep. Yeah. So I think, it's about making sure.
Yeah, sorry. The social media consultants who are not willing to pay, or whoever is not willing to pay is not really useful, because you really need to, especially since you're bootstrapping this business, you're going to need to start generating revenue soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, very, very soon. and a good point. So, these were some of the questions that we had to you, and I think you've answered most of them in our private roundtable. But I think you've answered some of them now. So we're going to continue to focus on building out the SMBs and the enterprise prospects, get more validation, test out some of our pricing. And, folks who can't pay and can't afford, there are many other free tools they can engage with or use, which, we won't worry about, but stick to making sure that the enterprise, the value prop is sharpened.
Now, one other question, Tariq. What research have you done to find the kind of people that you're looking for on LinkedIn? These 5 million and above company director of lead generation role, title.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we've been very lucky. I mean, one of our current prospect customers actually just gave us a big list of folks. So we are, people who are seeing the value are actually by word of mouth introducing us to other great companies that get this problem and have this pain. And also on LinkedIn, what we're doing is connecting with some of the groups in B2B marketing and also in sales, enterprise sales, to see whether or not we can start discussions or start talking about the issue of, how can you have scalable conversations with your prospects and use conversations as a way to identify what they're thinking and when they're ready to buy.
Okay. Good.
All right. Well, that's it. Thank you again. As always, your advice is super, super on point, and we're executing a lot of what you've shared with us. So we're just an absolute pleasure to have you, give us and share with us some of your time. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
All right, folks. I am going to move to the next segment of the discussion now. While you're chatting in group chat, I'm sure Ravi has already told you that we have a Facebook poll, 1M by 1M, facebook.com 1M by 1M. This is our Facebook page. So please go and vote for your favorite business that you heard about today. And the results will be announced on the blog in the next day or so. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 1 million by 1 million premium program. And Tariq and Dan, you guys, please feel free to talk about the program as well in the group chat while I'm going through the actual offering. You can talk about your experience with the program. So, as you know, the mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond. So in terms of what we are offering you as resources is we have, for inspiration, role models and case studies, the absolute basic series that we're offering is the blog series. SramanaMitra.com is our blog, and we have tons of case studies on the blog, and some of these are synthesized in a 4-volume book series as well. So you can use any of those. In terms of the books being available, they're available on Amazon and Kindle. The ebooks are available on Kindle. And then in India, it's available on Flipkart. And the books are Entrepreneur Journeys Volume 1 for inspiration and overview, and in tune with the philosophy of crafting a business, blog by blog by blog. The whole 1 million by 1 million series is based on that philosophy of how to craft a business, blog by blog by blog. So the kinds of things you see me discussing with Tariq, with Dan, with Rashali is that philosophy of really tweaking the pieces that are really going to make a difference, of like picking the right strategies, the right next steps to advance your business forward. Bootstrapping is a big philosophy of the program. Laser sharp positioning, a big philosophy of the program. Both are covered in 2 volumes of books and in a much more elaborate way in the premium program. And then innovation need of the hour is the 4th volume of Entrepreneur Journeys. Every Thursday, we do these free strategy roundtables. We have done over 80 roundtables. Over 5,000 people have attended. I've coached over 300 entrepreneurs. So this is a fairly well-known program at this point. And we have a lot of experience working with entrepreneurs and their businesses. Now, for $1,000 annual membership fee, you can join the 1 million by 1 million premium program. And the premium program follows a specific methodology that is of capital efficient, bootstrapped entrepreneurship with laser sharp positioning, focused on technology enabled services and online businesses, largely. So you'll get extensive methodology guidance. You have a curriculum, and if you spend 50 to 60 hours really digesting that curriculum, you will have a much more sophisticated understanding of entrepreneurship, of the style that we are talking about, and how to go about it. We do a lot of business development. We introduce you to customers. We introduce you to channel partners. All these people that we are talking to, wherever possible, I connect dots for our premium members. And then you have this kind of strategy consulting sessions. You have the free version in the public version here. And then you also have the private version in the premium lounge. And where necessary, if you're looking for financing and if your business is ready to be financed, we also help you with financing. The website for the premium program is at 1m1m.sramanamitra.com. This is what the homepage looks like. As I said, we have a curriculum, we have free public roundtables, and premium program has private roundtables. You have a whole page describing what to expect from the premium program. That's at the top right corner. Premium program, frequently asked questions, some of the coverage we've got, all that is available on the website. You can learn more about the program through that. Our methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups with laser sharp positioning. Positioning is one of our differentiated core competencies, and I was talking to a bunch of incubators lately, and they all said that this is something that everybody is struggling with. And I know this because in my consulting career, I consulted for a decade. I know that positioning is something that I've made the maximum money from, because companies, even much larger companies, are constantly struggling with positioning. So you heard me ask Tarek to take his first two slides and put them in the trash. Well, why? Because it's wrong positioning. It does not describe his value proposition. This does not describe what problem he's solving and how he's solving it. It's a bunch of blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah does not help you sell anything. You've got to get very specific on what is your value proposition and who is that relevant to in your positioning, and that's something we emphasize greatly on. We also have, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the curriculum itself. We have a core curriculum and we also have elective modules. The core curriculum consists of bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. And there we cover all the most important topics that show up in these kinds of discussions. So based on our extensive experience of coaching entrepreneurs for over 2 years, and across 80 of these sessions, we have a good deep understanding of what you need to understand to be able to build a robust business, a sustainable, robust business. And we recommend that you really digest that core curriculum to get to a certain level of sophistication as an entrepreneur. And then you come and discuss your business with me, and we will have a much more sophisticated conversation rather than talking about the basics. Now, as far as electives are concerned, we have several modules that are aligned with the trends of our industry today. That includes Web 3.0 and e-commerce, cloud computing and business solutions, outsourcing and consulting. We have a module on Vision India 2020. I'll tell you about the Vision India 2020 work that I've done in a moment. Mobile and social apps, which is a big trend in the industry today. Healthcare IT, online education, gaming. We've also released the gaming module just last week. And then we have a few more modules coming on clean tech, semiconductor and EDA, and systems, which are more capital intensive businesses that are harder to handle in a bootstrapped mode, but I will have coverage of those topics as well. Now, in each of these modules, you have space to discuss your questions. So as you're working through these modules and applying those principles to your business, if you have questions, you come up and ask there, and I will answer. And the community also participates in answering some of those questions and discussing them with you. In addition, if you have other questions that are not covered in the modules, you can use the discussion forum where you can open up threads for discussion. We do a lot of PR and media relations work for the entrepreneurs. We will, I have all these syndicated columns and a lot of influence in the media and analyst world. We will put you on those forums as much as possible, as well as introduce you to influential people. We have this thing called incubation radar, where when you're ready with enough validation, and if you want to explore big business development deals or investors and so forth, we can put you on incubation radar, which is almost like an executive summary of your business. And then a lot of investors follow that. A lot of M&A people follow that. Corporate people follow that. So incubation radar is something that we make available to our premium members. And then, of course, there are investor introductions, customer introductions, partners and partner introductions, channel partner introductions. So that is the crux of the 1 million by 1 million premium program. Now, the curriculum itself, even though I'm teaching you the curriculum, it is based on around 400 entrepreneurs actually teaching you their success stories. Over the last 6 years, this has taken me 6 years to build this curriculum, because I've had to sit down with 400 plus entrepreneurs and thought leaders to extract their guidance on business, what they have learned from building their companies. And this curriculum is a synthesis in form of video lectures and all these case studies, all these conversations with different entrepreneurs are also available to you to learn from. So if you actually go through the curriculum and understand what these people are trying to teach you, you would be so incredibly sophisticated as far as entrepreneurship, early stage entrepreneurship is concerned, that it is perfectly worthwhile for you to invest this 50-60 hours that I'm recommending that you do. And the more you invest in absorbing the material that I've made available to you, the more you're going to get out of the 1 million by 1 million premium program. It is a very much a case study oriented program. I have, gone way out of my way to gather intelligence and gather insights and gather wisdom from hundreds of entrepreneurs who have been very generous in sharing their perspectives to help you learn. And our vision is to make this knowledge available to millions of entrepreneurs around the world. And imagine how powerful an impact that is going to be. So the other thing that you need to do is to bring in your friends and peers and other entrepreneurs or other aspiring entrepreneurs into the program. That is one thing you can do to help us scale as well. Just to give you a flavor of the kinds of business development deals we do, we have a deal with Persistent Systems, which is about $100 million company with a very strong channel in North America. They have about 30 salespeople connected into the top companies in North America, all the way from the Intels to the Dells, Motorola, and so on and so forth. And we have two 1 million by 1 million premium companies, Orenscape and Crowd Engineering, who are going to market through their channels in North America. And we have Orenscape and Crowd Engineering talking to some really high-powered companies. Like, these are the who's who of corporate America. And given the fact that Orenscape and Crowd Engineering are tiny companies, the fact that they are able to get to these kinds of customers through somebody else's channel without having to invest a penny in building their own channel is a very, very powerful model. This is something we encourage greatly. And if you have businesses that we can connect the dots and bring you into other people's channels through our network, we will do that. So we connect every dot possible to make you successful. Remember that. And if you join the 1 million by 1 million premium program, I will, do everything possible to connect you into these kinds of channel opportunities. This is an example. What you have on your screen is an example of actually Orenscape being featured on Read Write Web in my recap column. So it's my syndicated column. And we did a lot of work positioning Orenscape. And today, Orenscape is positioned as a layer that fills a gap in Google's App Engine platform. Very powerful. And Google is talking to Orenscape, by the way. So there's a lot of exciting stuff that happens through the 1 million by 1 million premium program, if you put in the investment on your side to both understand and leverage the program. As I say, it's like a gym membership, right? A gym membership is only useful if you go to the gym and actually do the exercise. We can bring the horse to the water. I can get you a gym membership, but if you don't use the gym membership, there's nothing I can do. So we've made a lot of resources available to you. Now it's up to you to come and use them. This is a page from my Facebook page, actually. We had one of these roundtables, and then somebody who had pitched at a roundtable, his name is Ram Kumar, sent me a message on Facebook saying, Sramana, I wish this was available, 1 million by 1 million was available in 2000, 2007, 2008, when I had raised money and I had some money available. And I did the wrong things. If I knew what were the right things to do with that money, today I would have been a lot more successful. But 2007, 2008, 1 million by 1 million was not available yet. And today he has run out of money. He raised a substantial amount of angel money and he's run out of money. How sad is that? I don't want you to do that. I want you to, if you have resources available, meager, scarce resources available, I want you to use them well by doing the right things and using that money towards the right, milestones, towards the right activities so that you generate, real results out of that investment. By the way, we work with a lot of incubators. MAD Incubator in Malaysia is one of our partners. We have a number of these kinds of partners. Indian Angel Network in India has an incubator that we are partnering with, and we are talking to a number of incubators in North Carolina, in Michigan, in Connecticut, and so on and so forth. All these incubators are going to be organizations through which we are going to be bringing the 1 million by 1 million initiative to a much broader population of people. So this is one of our go-to-market strategies, and as a result, if you are interested in bringing this program to your local incubators, please feel free to go talk to them and then talk to us so that we can, start working with your local incubators. It's a very powerful program, and incubators are finding it extremely helpful as a supplemental program to add to the resources that they bring to their communities from an economic development point of view. So that's 1 million by 1 million. We have our upcoming roundtables pretty much every week, every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. The June 2nd roundtable will be particularly focused on the Microsoft BizSparks India Startup Challenge Grant finalists. I think there are going to be 10 finalists we're going to be working with some of them. But otherwise, it's open. Please come and present your ideas and learn about, what we can do. I told you I'll spend a few minutes on Vision India 2020. Vision India 2020 is a book that I wrote to kind of publish my notebook effectively. For a good, 15, 16 years, I've been making notes about India. I grew up in India. I left India in 1989 to come to college in the United States. And I spent 7 years on the East Coast before moving to Silicon Valley in 1996. And I've been traveling not only in India, all over the world, and I've been seeing all sorts of things. And because I look at the world from an entrepreneur's point of view, I've made a lot of notes about, great business opportunities, leveraging India's strategic strengths. And that's the book that Vision India 2020 has become. It consists of $45 billion business ideas, but I've developed these business ideas, including the strategies of those business plans. And it's written as if we are sitting in 2020, having executed on these business ideas, following those strategies. So it's a really fun book. And it'll trigger a lot of thoughts if you're looking for ideas to execute on. And I know there are some people in the program who are actually looking at Vision India 2020 ideas to develop. You're very welcome to take these ideas and develop them and join the premium program, 1 million by 1 million premium program, and I'll help you develop these ideas. So I'm looking for entrepreneurs who can develop these ideas because it's not physically possible for me to develop $45 billion ideas personally. So I need entrepreneurs to take these on and build them. There is one idea, which is perhaps the $46 billion idea, which I kept for myself, which has now become 1 million by 1 million. So by all means, feel free to steal more, do whatever you want with these ideas. And Vision India 2020 is also available on Amazon, Kindle, and Flipkart in India. I'm going to open up my public chat, and we're going to do a group Q&A now. And while you are typing in your questions in the public chat, let me also thank some of our partners, both media partners, incubators, entrepreneurship development organizations, alumni associations. We have Read Write Web as a media partner, Youth Ki Awaaz, Microsoft, TIE, various chapters of TIE, Chennai, Mumbai, Chicago, Atlanta, Austin. We've worked with many of them, Delhi. AMITA is the Association of MIT Alumni, Indian Angel Network, the MIT CNC, MIT Club of Northern California, MAD Incubator, Persistent Systems. So we have a lot of different partners who are working with me. And then, of course, VView, who are our technology partners for these roundtable sessions. So that's pretty much it. And I'm going to look at the public chat and see what questions you may have, and see if I can answer them. By the way, if you want to blow up your public chat, you can do that by cutting off the video, and the public chat is going to fill up your whole screen. I find that useful when we get to this point of the session. So if there are any questions in the public, please put it in the public chat. I see there's a lot of comments in the public chat about when. Manisha, please feel free to type your questions. I'm just going to comment on something that you guys are discussing about when to give up on ideas. If an idea is not validating for an extended period of time, yes, you do need to abandon that idea and accept that it's a bad idea. And in a way, it's actually more efficient to fail fast on an idea and move on to the next idea rather than wasting invaluable years of your life. No, I don't like the often bit either. And that's one of the things we are trying to do in 1 million by 1 million is to, check what I call infant entrepreneur mortality. Today, infant entrepreneur mortality is very high. The US number is every year 600,000 companies go out of business. And to me, that infant entrepreneur mortality is tragic, and it can be avoided. And we have actually done through our research, figured out what are some of the causes of that infant entrepreneur mortality, and the 1 million by 1 million methodology actually mitigates your risks of those issues, getting caught in those issues. Manisha, what are your ideas and views about online auction platform for intellectual property? I have given it no thought. So if that's something that you are working on, develop the idea, start following the methodology to validate, and come and discuss it with me. I'll be very happy to talk to you about the various issues around that business. But you've got to follow the methodology. Don't give me random ideas to reflect on. I think you're going to need to build the idea and follow the methodology to validate it. Arun is asking, I have a doubt. Is there a marketplace for people and their talent, like, say, motivation speakers? Well, there are a lot of people who are making money giving motivational speeches. They write books, and if the book is well received, they become motivational speakers. It is happening. I see this everywhere. Could you please provide pointers if it could be viable business to do some possible data analysis for IT outsourcing business? Who could be customers for it? Again, you're asking me to validate your business ideas without doing the work yourself. I can't do that. You're going to need to follow. We provide very, very systematic methodology for validation. So please join the program, follow the methodology, and do the validation. I can't randomly do validation for you. Validation is done by customers. You've got to follow the methodology, and I'll be very happy to work with you, help you validate your ideas, validate or invalidate your ideas, but you've got to follow the methodology to do that. I don't know, Arun. Again, you guys are asking me to validate ideas. I can't validate ideas like this. Can you elaborate on the positioning methodology? Not in Q&A. No, you need to go through the positioning methodology. We have an extensive positioning methodology coverage. You can start by reading Entrepreneur Journeys Volume 3 and learning positioning, but I can't give you a lecture on positioning methodology right this minute because it's not a 2-minute answer to your question. But if you want to learn positioning, join the premium program. You'll be completely trained in positioning. Does prototyping for more than 6 months make sense? Basically, does it make sense to develop something before getting customer feedback? Absolutely not. Santosh, you're forbidden to do that. You need to, this is one of the things that I can tell you our methodology tells you to not do, is spend a lot of time building something without actually validating it first. So strictly no, 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 Santosh. The premium program has a time, so the premium program is a 1-year membership. You can renew the membership for as many years as you want because our value proposition is to help you get to $1 million in annual revenue and beyond. As far as what kind of time you need to budget, we do have an extensive curriculum. So I would like you to spend, you don't have to do it in 1 week. You don't have to spend 50, 60 hours in 1 or 2 weeks. You can do it over 3 or 4 months, but I would like you to use the curriculum and go through the curriculum to train yourself, because if you don't do that, you're missing one of the biggest components of how I can impart training to you as far as entrepreneurship learning is concerned. So in terms of the subscription is concerned, you get subscription for a year. But in terms of your time commitments that you need to budget enough time so that you can go through the program, follow its methodology, learn the curriculum, and so forth. Sramana, do you take equity in the companies you advise? No, I don't take equity in the companies I advise. The premium program is structured so that we can work with small companies as well. Companies who will never go public or who will never have an exit, who will just be, businesses that are revenue generating, profitable businesses. And those are the kinds of companies which we cannot take equity in because the equity is not worth anything. This is why we created a very, low price point. The price point at which we are offering the kind of value is not available anywhere in the world. It is very, very difficult to deliver this kind of value at this price point. So it's by design, and by design so we can scale the program to a level where, it meets the agenda of 1 million by 1 million, that we can actually make 1 million companies successful in this mode. That's why we don't take equity. However, the companies that I was talking to you about, Orangenscape and Crowd Engineering, where I've played a very, very active role in their business development, and I continue to play that role, we do revenue sharing deals. So that deal between Persistent, Orangenscape, and 1 million by 1 million, or Persistent, Orangenscape, and Crowd Engineering, those are revenue sharing deals. So not equity, but revenue sharing. Let me see. Rajesh is asking, do you help only IT-based startups? We work with technology-based, IT-based startups. We work with online companies, all sorts of internet companies, and we work with outsourcing companies. That is largely what we do. Now, the truth is, today, if you're working in retail, for instance, you're going to have to think about an e-commerce strategy. And we are very, very strong in e-commerce. So whatever business you're working on, if there's an internet component to it, which most likely you have to have an internet component to it, whether it's customer acquisition through internet or selling through the internet. So in that sense, we cater to a lot of different companies that may not be directly technology companies. They may be just stores selling something, but because the e-commerce angle is so powerful right now, we are relevant to them as well. Manisha is asking, well, I wish to know, where did you get your training from? Just curious about your academics. If you don't mind, can you share? Manisha, I'm a computer scientist from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And I've done 3 startups of my own all through the 90s, and I did 10 years of consulting. So a lot of the business knowledge I have is purely through experience. And I've had very strong mentors. I've been in Silicon Valley for a good 14, 15 years, and I've had access to the absolute cream of Silicon Valley, and that's where a lot of my training comes from. Bala is asking, following up on Santosh's question, sometimes a product may be needed for validation. Can an idea be validated without a touch and feel experience for customers? Yes, it can be. It can be. So please come and discuss specifics with me. I would like you to go through the methodology of validation in the premium program, and I would like to, before you invest the money in building something, I would like to talk to you. So I really think before you commit 6 months or 8, 9 months of development, I would like to talk to you. And I would like you to follow the methodology of validation that we recommend. Dan, I don't get paid to say this, but the only reason not to join is if you're not going to do the work. It is way underpriced. The content is amazing. You get personal attention and connected to a vibrant community. Thank you, Dan. That's spoken by somebody who is actually using the program the way it is meant to be used. So Dan is really doing a very nice job of using the program the way I intended it to be used, and I'm very happy to see that. Thank you, Manisha. Any other questions? You're very welcome. All right, looks like we're done for today. I will see you next week on Thursday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And I look forward to working with more of your businesses. Bye-bye, everybody.